Week 2 of The Bachelor is in the books, and we had another drama-filled episode tonight. Started off right out of the gate, so we had the conclusion of the Peter Hannah saga, and then we launched straight into Champagne Gate. We had another rose ceremony, and then we headed off to the Runway to meet Janice Dickinson. Excuse me, you know, just had to let one out there. And then we had my girl, my number one, Victoria F, had her time in the sun. And then we went back to that friggin' Champagne Gate again. But it was finally good to see the conclusion of the Hannah B saga. I mean, Hannah B, I love you. I really do. You're an amazing girl. But you don't need to be on The Bachelor 3 seasons in a row. It's too much. You know, take 2 seasons off, and then when they come back with Tyler C as the Bachelor, who should have been the Bachelor this time, well, let's just ignore that. You can come on then and have another shot. But all right, we saw the conclusion. Peter and Hannah, you both looked like you really just wanted to just make out, but you resisted, and the moment passed, and due to time commitments on Dancing with the Stars, Hannah B will not be on The Bachelor, hopefully, anymore this season. And after that weird date, we go into the second rose ceremony of the season that just gets engulfed by one moment. Peter and Hannah Ann casually walk by this nice setup of champagne and some candles. And Peter says, "Oh, look, champagne. You want some?" Next thing you know, Peter and Hannah Ann, not Hannah Brown. We're on a new Hannah now. I know this is confusing, but keep your Hannah straight, Bachelor Nation. Hannah Ann, they pop the top off. They have some champagne. And we start to see Kelsey melt down immediately. And it was a pretty legendary meltdown. She lost it. And it made no sense. It's a bottle of champagne. You had the bottle of champagne for 1 year. So you got it for your birthday. You went a whole year with nothing to celebrate having champagne for, and you bring it as a gimmick to The Bachelor. Well, your gimmick blew up on your face. And you know what I really enjoyed? When Kelsey finally did get a sip of champagne and she grabs that bottle, having no clue how champagne works, and just boom! It was glorious. It was just like, you know what, Kelsey? You earned that moment, and we loved it. I went on Twitter for just a moment, and you were all I could see. It was just joke after joke after joke of you attempting to drink champagne. Glorious. And then we finally got to our actual rose ceremony, and now we've just concluded Kelsey going after Hannah Ann, and just being way over the top, mean girling it to the nines. And of course, in typical Bachelor fashion, what do we see? Comes down to the final rose. Kelsey gets it. And I think even before the moment happened, like my eyes were already rolling back in my head. It was a bit too much. You know, it just doesn't matter. This early on in these seasons, if you're grossly annoying, obnoxious, causing trouble, you're guaranteed to get that rose. And we tried to move on from that rose ceremony by immediately going into a group date with, shockingly, Kelsey and Hannah Ann both on it. But who cares about them? My girl Victoria F, she had her time to shine. She was having full-on breakdown. And then she goes out on the runway. She's a new woman. She struts her stuff down that runway, and I was just singing, "Who the hell is this?" And I was sitting on the couch. I felt like a proud father. I was like, "Victoria F, you can do it. You can do it. We believe in you. And she, well, this is not a word in my vocabulary, but I'm going to use it. She slayed. And unfortunately, they had to do that third runway walk between Hannah Ann and Victoria F. But otherwise, Victoria, you were so close, you had it. But there was still a little bit of redemption for my girl Victoria F left. You know, after a couple more meltdowns, she was thinking about leaving. She pulls it together. She has a great moment with Peter, and she gets the date rose. You go, Victoria F. I want to see you on at least one more episode. You know, because we saw a bit into that preview at the end, and there wasn't a lot of you in the scenes that we did see you. You were just wearing outfits that we'd already seen you in, and that's not a good sign on The Bachelor. And to close the night off, we thought that we had put Champagne Gate behind us. Well, it reared its ugly head once again. And Hannah Ann, she just had to go and just rat on Kelsey to Peter. And you know what? I'm glad she did, because it just blows my mind that there's just no repercussions for being a terrible person on The Bachelor. It never ends poorly for anyone. It's like all they're doing, like the producers are probably pumped. They're like, yeah, keep them both around. Keep them both around for 2-3 more weeks. Then we can have a real dramatic 2-on-1 date. And it's the same every season. But I'm over it, Bachelor Nation. But anyways, that wraps up our week 2. I think I covered all the main points. You know, I don't know if I missed anything, but we having a great start to the season. We didn't see a lot of Kelly this week, and she was a big person last week. Same with Madison Prue. They were two of our front runners last week, and this week they got barely any camera time. But I'm still confident that Kelly, Madison, Hannah Ann, and you know, this week maybe I'd think about mixing in McKenna into that list. I mean, we did see Peter grab her and just throw her up onto, I don't even know where it was. He keeps finding these counters to throw these women up on. It seems to be like his go-to move. And then just briefly before we go, we got to talk a little bit about the upcoming spoilers that we saw at the end of the episode. Peter's getting somebody pregnant. You heard it here first. I'm Bwar. This is Dark Hole Cantina. This is Bwar's Reality Corner, and I'm out.